Hello there, how are you? I'm Boniface Harrison, Executive Director at Action Posts. And today I'm here at the Public Benefit Organizations Week at the KICC in Nairobi. And part of the reason why I am passionately here is because I'm a social work and community development professional, and public benefits organizations is an area where my profession lies and where I continue working in. Secondly, is that Action Post is a public benefit organization that focuses on climate action, digital skills, and civic engagement. We have interacted with many exhibiting organizations that are coming to showcase what they do and the impact they are making in the communities through various projects. And we have had discussions about partnership in some of the projects that we are doing, and we hope that goes on well. Secondly, is that we have engaged with the team from the Public Benefits Organizations Regulatory Authority, where they've shared more light about the new law which has come into force to regulate the development space. And some of the key highlights that they have shared with us, I can be allowed to refer, is that previously NGOs were regulated under the NGOs Act of 1990, and that is where the NGOs Coordination Board had been established to ensure regulation and compliance of non-governmental organizations. And due to the change of dynamics and the growing landscape of development and charity, there was seen to be a need to have a new law that now provides fresh regulations that are within the interest of the Kenyan people. And that is why in 2013, the Public Benefits Organizations Act was enacted. So since 2013 until 2024 May, the Act had never been operationalized. That the Act had not been put into practice. And that is what led to the operationalization of the Act from May 2024. The Act has now established a framework within it, which is the Public Benefit Organizations Regulatory Authority, which is now mandated with the registration, regulation, coordination of the public benefit organizations. So there are very many changes that have come with the new law, and that is what I'm going to be covering in this video. So be with me and continue following along. And if you have any questions, kindly feel free to reach out to us through the comment section, and we are able to connect you to the team members of the Public Benefits Organizations Regulatory Authority. Some of the key changes that have been put in place by the new law include that previously NGOs used to register through the NGOs Coordination Board. Now, any NGO that, whether existing or that wants to register afresh, they must register through the Public Benefits Organizations Regulatory Authority. That is the first key change. So if you're out there running an NGO that is not yet compliant, that is not yet registered with FIBORA, it's important that you take that step very soon. Another key change that has happened is that previously NGOs used to pay 16,000 shillings for their registration. Now it's moved to 25,000. And for international organizations, now the new fee is 45,000 shillings. Another key change that has come with the new act is that now public benefit organizations have a way to air out their grievances in the event that the authority makes decisions that they deem unfavorable to them. For example, if you have been if issues that you don't agree with have been raised about you, or if certain actions legally have been taken against you, organization, and you're not satisfied, there is now a disputes tribunal within the Public Benefits Organizations Regulatory Authority, where disputes can be dissolved and repeal can be done. Another interesting thing that I have learned about the new law is that now when you're pulling resources together to apply for, let's say, a grant, if several organizations are coming together to form a consortium, that consortium can be legalized through the Public Benefits Organizations regulatory authority to ensure that. So because sometimes you may partner with some people who you've agreed this is how you're applying for this grant, but there's no legal parameters to determine who will do this. It's just an agreement between you, which may cause disputes sometimes. So it's important when we are forming consortiums to implement projects or to apply for funding, we ensure that we also reach out to PIBORA for support and ensure that our agreements are secured. There is one clarification that needs to be made because I've interacted with many community-based organizations and they're also curious about how the new law is going to affect them. So this is the information I've gotten from the team who are in here, is that the Public Benefits Organizations Regulatory Authority is focused on national public serving organizations. For example, PIBORA is not going to regulate self-help groups because those are organizations that have been established to cater for the welfare of the members. PIBORA is interested in organizations that are established with the core goal of benefiting the communities. So if the organization is formed on the basis of membership, for example, let's say you have 100 members who you do activities to benefit yourself, and the community is the secondary beneficiary. The primary beneficiary of that organization is members, like a CBO. You know, CBO is formed by members. Self-help group is formed by members. Then chamas, although they may be informal, but they are not categorized to be regulated by PIBORA. So PIBORA is majorly focusing on national and international organizations that are operating within Kenya. There is another interesting aspect that you may want to explore. For example, if you are registered as a limited liability company or a company limited by guarantee, you are also eligible to be acknowledged. They are calling it conferment. You can be conferred as a public benefit organization. For example, let's say you are a social enterprise that focuses on manufacturing affordable, biodegradable sanitary towels, or you are in waste management. You are very much eligible for a conferment as a public benefit organization because the work you do deserves the benefits that PIBORA public benefit organizations are entitled to. For example, there could be tax exemptions and many other benefits that you can enjoy when you are a public benefit organization. So that is possible, but the requirement that they are giving is that for you to be conferred as a public benefit organization, first you have to have been implementing those activities that are benefiting the public for at least 3 years. Secondly, is that you must be in good books with your regulator. For example, if you're registered under the Business Registration Services, BRS, you have to be in good standing with them and also with the Kenya Revenue Authority to ensure that you have remitted your taxes on time and you are compliant. So then you will be eligible to be conferred the title and the status of a public benefit organization. You can choose to cease being a limited company and move to PBO, or you can just retain your limited status. So that is another very interesting thing. This is a game changer for many organizations, and also there is another provision which is quite exciting, that now public benefit organizations have now been given the mandate to engage in income generating activities, of course within the stipulated laws. So it's important. My recommendation to you is to really get a copy of this act and go through it to ensure that you have much information about the act, so that when your organization is planning to transition, because the PIBORA was given a period of 1 year to ensure that organizations have complied. So since last year May, when the PBO Act was operationalized, by this year May, you may expect that 1 year is coming to an end. So compliance is very, very important.